Get to the shout out.
Yeah, word. This is good news. This was reported in the, of course, no fault of the genius DJ Danerkey. I like this. 2 former Bernie staffers are launching a consulting firm to primary the consulting class. This is actually sounds like kind of arcane inside baseball, but this is incredibly important. Part of this, one of the manifestations. There's the ideological capture of much of the Democratic establishment. There's the campaign contribution capture. And one of the nexus of this are consultants who have risen after the sort of collapse of labor unions as the kind of information brokers of modern politics. So these are a lot of people who have grown really wealthy off of consulting corporations like Coca-Cola or Exxon, as an example, and then working for Democratic campaigns that absorb huge amounts of money from the health insurance industry and other industries that we fundamentally know we need to absolutely decommodify in order to have a decent life. And the consultants are the functional nexus of so much of this corruption, dysfunction, and sclerotic deadness of the Democratic Party. That's a little repetitive, but I think you get my meaning. Quoting now from the Daily Beast, 2 alums of Senator Bernie Sanders' 2016 presidential election have launched a consulting firm to help progressive candidates win elections and stick a thumb in the eye of the Democratic Party establishment. Movement, MVMT Communications, is the brainchild of Karthik Ganapathy, who previously served as a battleground state director for Sanders, and Mike Sheska, rapid response director on Sanders' campaign. The sort of calcification around the Democratic Party's agenda has been driven a lot by the consultant class. Cheska told the Daily Beast, "We have a party that's driven by a core of strategists that run a lot of their business on corporate clients, and it affects everyone's thinking." The launch of Movement Communications comes as the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee has said it will not grant contracts to consultants who work with candidates who are running primary challenges against sitting incumbents. So this is really important. And we're going to be talking more about this. But we have somebody who's a great candidate who's going up against the far-right Congressman Eliot Engel. We have a guy who I'm really remiss that his name is not in front of me, but he's from New Jersey. He's the head of, can you guys look up the head of the Problem Solvers Caucus? He's a Democratic congressman from New Jersey, one of the absolutely worst people in Congress. And we have, as an example, Cuellar, Trump's favorite Democrat in Texas, who was also George W. Bush's favorite Democrat, a war-promoting, corporatist, far-right extremist in the Democratic Party. These people can face and need to face not just challenges in terms of, someone of good conscience to challenge them. They need to be beat. Steny Hoyer is another one. His ass needs to be thrown out of Congress. He is a great candidate running against him. Let's talk, though, for a second about Josh Gothmeier. He's a U.S. representative from New Jersey's 5th Congressional District. He's a member of the Democratic Party, blah, blah, blah. And he also was formerly worked at Burstyn Marsteller, which is a huge global PR firm that I believe Mark Penn, I think still works for if he has not left. Major PR conglomerate for corporations across the globe. He's part of the Problem Solver Caucus. He has numerous ethics questions surrounding him and many others, and was one of the people who, in the words of the co-chair of the Progressive Caucus, Mark Pocan, said, "I want to know when the Problem Solvers Caucus became the Child Abuse Caucus, after the Problem Solvers helped push through this despicable vote that Nancy Pelosi signed off on to accept the Republican Senate bill on border funding without any mandate of humanitarian protections for these people that have been kidnapped and terrorized, where people are still dying in these circumstances today." So shout out to Movement Communications, and let's get rid of the absolutely odious, repugnant Gothmeiers of the world. And if you're in New Jersey's 5th, give his office a call and tell him what you think about abusing children and being a hack corporatist. You've just watched a Michael Brooks show video, and you can watch all of our full main live shows every Tuesday night at around 7 p.m. Eastern Time. and subscribe to get all of the clips you want. We're covering the globe. We're focusing on international relations, the intellectual dark web. We're having fun. We're doing deep dives with a lot of amazing guests. Of course, become a patron for the whole thing at patreon.com/TMBS, or subscribe to this YouTube channel and help us keep growing and get that content out there. Subscribe below.